following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello, and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show, a Hoop Ball presentation. My name is Adrian Benjamins, and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani. And this episode of the show is brought to you guys by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. Get yourself some delicious coffee. Taste the Kona difference. Head over to hawaiianisles.com. You can also find their amazing coffee on Amazon. Neil, it's been a long week. How are you, man?
Glad to be back with you. I am doing okay, hanging in there. Like you said, no, you didn't say, but we talked beforehand, a short night. And that's kind of nice, just to go through a couple games here before you have to deal with ailing children, as you mentioned prior to broadcast.
There's a bad bug going around right now. A lot of people getting sick, catching the flu. My son's come down with something. My wife's starting to get something. So as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to try to take care of my son, make sure he's doing all right. But, this week has been jam-packed. Every night we have had big slates. I'm actually kind of happy we got a smaller slate of games here. Kind of lets us catch our breath, get caught up on everything. Neil, do you see anything newsworthy that you think is worth talking about? Maybe DeMarcus Cousins. I know you had mentioned before we started that he is going to be back soon, likely could start. What do you think about that? Are you pretty excited about that?
Yeah, I was very curious to read that he would be a starter, according to Steve Kerr. In a report, I'm just saying that when he does come back, he will start, which I am surprised by. But then again, we know that their starter doesn't necessarily mean starters minutes. So perhaps he'll start with the team and then play 18 minutes at first or something along those lines, of maybe eventually ramp up to 30 minutes at some point. So not sure what to make of it other than that he'll be playing with the first unit, which will be fun to watch. You know, how is this team going to gel right off the bat with 5 All-Stars on the court? It'll be interesting. So,
yeah,
it'll be fun.
I think maybe the best thing going for DeMarcus Cousins is that the Warriors has struggled quite a bit this season. And, even when I say the Warriors have struggled, what are they like? Are they ranked number 2 right now in the Western Conference? So, even though they're not the beastly Warriors that we're used to, still like one of the top teams in the West. We're only just hitting the halfway point of the season, meaning they can easily still finish as the number 1 team in the league. So, but I think if you're DeMarcus Cousins, man, one of the things that you got working for you is that the team hasn't looked super great. So maybe they need some of what DeMarcus Cousins can bring. So I don't know, but I will say, even if he starts, just as you said, Neil, there is no possible way he's going to see starter-type minutes for sure for at least, I would guess, at least 2 to 3 weeks. He's going to be seeing limited minutes as they work him back from that Achilles injury. I don't think we're going to see him play back-to-backs at all. So I have very low expectations for him.
Yeah, I do too. I think on a permanent basis he'll be fine, but how many minutes will he play? How many games will he play? I could see him getting rest even when it's not a back-to-back, just to kind of be cautious with him. Then again, I don't know how these injuries, the healing works. So all I know, it's a very tough injury to come back from. Some players are never the same. We'll see how Cousins is, and we'll see how much stress they want to put on him. They really have no need to play him lots of minutes. Like you said, they're the odds-on favorite to win pretty easily again this year, and a couple teams might be able to give them a run, but I don't see it right now. All right, that's the only news I thought might be interesting. Nothing else really caught my eye. Anything you want to talk about?
No, earlier in the week, it was reported that the Knicks and the Kings could be working on a trade for Enes Kanter and Zach Randolph. We're hearing that it's stalled, not much there, but I thought that was pretty interesting, Neil, because, could free up some minutes for Mitchell Robinson. Noah Vonleh has already been a pretty solid low-end play on the season. Luke Cornett, who was a popular pickup recently, could also benefit from that. So it's an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Do you have any thoughts on that potential trade? Do you like it?
Well, I like it from the fact that I stashed Mitchell Robinson in a league, and so he might get back out there. He hasn't been great even when he's out there. His free throw percentage has been horrendous, but the other categories have been okay. Doesn't shoot threes. I'm curious to see what this team will look like with Mitchell Robinson starting. I think they're going to go in full tank mode sooner than later, so I would not be surprised if they try to deal. I was surprised they want Zach Randolph back. I thought they would want something more long term. So I don't get it. I don't get the interest in Zach Randolph. With that said, I do get the interest in trading Kanter for something of value for the future. And they have no reason to win this year. So I'll be curious. I know Kanter's been upset there. I know oftentimes once things get leaked in the media, trades don't normally happen until the trade happens and then the media finds out. So sometimes when the media finds out first, it's not really a real trade. It's more just like things getting thrown out there to throw off the scent, so to speak. So I won't buy it until I actually see something.
Yeah, I agree. And, it sounds like this whole trade kind of has gone from likely to unlikely now. So I doubt it's a move that even happens. I just thought it was an interesting take. Also, kind of interesting to know that Enes Kanter is on the block, so, even if he doesn't get moved to the Kings, trade deadline's coming up. Maybe he does get moved somewhere else. And we know, I love your take. Knicks will be in full tank mode, especially as we get deeper towards the end of the season. I think Mitchell Robinson, if you need blocks and boards, I think he will kind of get let loose towards the end of the season as the Knicks start dreaming of Zion.
We're all dreaming of Zion. It just 360 dunks in my head at night. Yes.
All right. Well, so we got a small slate of games, 2 games already wrapped up. Let's look into it. I believe it is my turn to lead. Going to start with the Celtics and the Miami Heat. This one was a surprising blowout. The Celtics have been playing well lately, and I was just shocked to see them get blown out here in Miami. The Heat 115 over the Celtics, who had 99. I'm going to look in on the Celtics side. Got to start with Kyrie Irving having a pretty good season. I believe he's currently one of the all-star starters according to voting right now. 22 points, a steal, a block, 5 assists, 5 boards, 2 threes, shot 10 of 19 from the field. I'm looking for him to have a real strong second half of the season. Marcus Smart, this was a pretty good game from him. Love the offensive output. 18 points, had 4 threes tonight, shot 5 of 10, 4 of 5 from the line. Pretty efficient shooting there. Great game from him. Jason Tatum has been playing well lately. 17 points from him, a block, and assists. 4 boards to go along with 2 threes, 4 of 11 from the field, a perfect 7 of 7 from the line. Marcus Morris has also been producing for fantasy teams this season, and tonight he did not let you down. 17 points to go along with a steal, 2 blocks, an assist, 6 rebounds, 3 threes tonight, 7 of 13 from the field. Neil, I'm really shocked with how crowded the Celtics are. I would have never guessed at the beginning of the season. He feels really safe right now. I mean, the minutes are consistent. His usage has been good. I feel okay having him in my lineup, and I would have never have guessed that would be at the beginning of this season. Al Horford, 2 points, 3 assists, 4 boards, 1 of 8 shooting on the game. Pretty disappointing from him tonight. I'm hoping he'll bounce back in the next one. Gordon Hayward, man, this one was a letdown. Only 20 minutes off the bench for 6 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, 3 of 7 shooting. They did not get too much help off the bench. Terry Rozier, only 4 points, 6 boards, and a steal in 17 minutes. Jaylen Brown, really, man, this guy's fallen off. I hope nobody's counting on him right now in standard leagues. 2 points, 2 rebounds in just 14 minutes. Neil, what do you think of the Celtics?
I like what you said about Marcus Morris. Really, he has been. I totally agree. I trust him. This is exactly what I thought Gordon Hayward would be like this year. I thought he would be right in this category. Marcus Morris so far, 71 on a per-game basis, an 8-cat, and 58, 9-cat, and that's what I thought Hayward would be starting at that role. Clearly, Hayward has, outside the top 100, I don't think he's going to get in it this year. Not much else to add. Yeah, I mean, I don't trust Horford on a night-to-night basis. I don't even trust Tatum, although he's been okay. Smart. It's really just Irving and then now Morris. Those are the 2 guys I trust. Morris is going to get his shots. He's a pretty good rebounder. He can knock down some threes, get some defensive stats. So I like what you said there. I'm going to hop over now to the Miami side. Like you said, it's a nice win here for Miami, relatively comfortably, winning by 16. Led tonight by Josh Richardson, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists on 7 of 13 shooting, 4 3-pointers. No steals, no blocks. Justice Winslow continues to be very valuable, particularly in points leagues. Tonight, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, 5 of 9 shooting, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 3-pointers, no defensive stats. Hassan Whiteside just plays 21 minutes. I worry about these games. You know, I was thinking about putting Hassan Whiteside in as DFS, but sometimes he gets a short night. Tonight, there was a case, 21 minutes, 9 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 8 shooting, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and a steal. James Johnson played 20 minutes, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists on 5 of 15 shooting, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and a steal and a block. Magruder, 15 minutes, 3 and 1. He has not been fantasy relevant for a while now. Off the bench, Derek Jones Jr. had a decent night, 14.7 rebounds on 6 of 9 shooting, 2 3-pointers, 2 steals, and a block. Bam Adebayo, likewise, 8, 7, and 5. 3 of 5 shooting, went perfect from the line, 2 of 2, along with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Dwayne Wade, the tour continues, plays 23 minutes, scores 19 points, very efficiently on 8 of 12 shooting. Not much else going on, though, just 1 assist and 1 steal. Had 3-pointers in his scoring line. Deion Waiters up to 20 minutes now, 8, 4, and 3. So he's chucking it 3 of 12 tonight, 2 3-pointers and a steal. Tyler Johnson plays 15 minutes. Olynyk just 5. Ellington, DNP. Dragic still injured. This team is kind of like Boston, that I don't trust anyone except for Josh Richardson and I guess Winslow in points leagues. I just don't like his percentages, but if you can handle that, I would trust him. And that's really it for me. Whiteside, the free throw percentages has taken me out of that category for him. Any thoughts on the Heat?
The Heat are using Winslow as a point guard, and it is doing wonders for his assist numbers. 11 assists tonight, man. That's outstanding. We talk constantly how he's going to hurt your field goal percentage. Tonight actually didn't shoot bad, 5 of 9 for the field. But, I'm in a couple leagues where I'm really struggling. I'm kind of punting field goal in 1 or 2 leagues, and I would love to have this guy on that team. So, especially because I'm hurting an assist. So, I agree with you. I think he's definitely worth owning, even in standard leagues, if you're in that type of situation. And then, man, Derek Jones Jr. Neil, I wish he would get this minute type role every night. I would go grab him. He's available in quite a few of my leagues. But he was a DNP CD just a few games ago for multiple games. So you could pick this guy up. He could not play in the next game. So Coach Spoelstra doing some strange his lineups are very hard to predict. So I love your take, Neil, on really not trusting anybody on this team. So yeah, that's all I got, man. Let's move over to the next one. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Another blowout, Neil. This was a little disappointing here. 121-100. The Nuggets blowing out the Clippers. I'm going to look over on the Clippers side. Going to start with the Rooster, Danilo Gallinari. Do they call him the Rooster? I hope I didn't make that up.
They do. I just haven't heard that in a while, which is why I almost spit out my water. But that was great.
Neil, I'm teaching you on nicknames, man. We learned this season that Barnes is the Black Falcon and Gallo is the Rooster. 18 points, a steal, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3-point range. Also 3 of 6 from the line, 6 of 17 from the field. Great game from him. He's having a fantastic season. He's making me a believer, man. I did not think this guy would stay healthy. I would have bet some big money that he would have been down or have been hurt already. I mean, we're past the midway point and he has been rolling and he feels really safe, man. Congratulations if you drafted Gallinari. Tobias Harris is also having a fantastic season. Double-double from him with 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, 7 of 15 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Some disappointing lines in the backcourt. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with just 3 points, a steal, an assist, 2 boards, 1 3. He only shot 1 of 4 in 20 minutes. Avery Bradley, only 2 points. Love the 2 steals, but only 2 assists, 2 boards. Only shot 1 of 6 in 26 minutes. Gortat, another good nickname, the Polish Hammer, Neil. 6 points, a rebound, 3 of 3, but only 17 minutes here. Very disappointing. They did get some nice production off the bench. Lou Williams with 19 points, 5 assists, 1 3, shot 7 of 15, 4 of 5 from the line. Montrezl Harrell, I wish this guy would get like a 30-minute role because he would just be a beast if his minutes, even in just 22 minutes like he saw tonight, put up a nice line of 16 points, a block, 6 rebounds, 2 of 2 from the line, an efficient 7 of 9 from the field. Not too much else to talk about here. We really should not be trusting anyone else on this team. Neil, what do you think about the Clippers?
Yeah, I'd like to say reiterate what you said about Danilo Gallinari, the Rooster. I did not think he would be this. I mean, halfway through, so let's see how he finishes up the season. Right now, he's 37th in 8 category leagues, even better than I expected on a per-game basis. I'm also very impressed with Tobias Harris. He is leading this team. He is leading them fantasy-wise, 29th on the season. And they're winning. Tonight they did not win, but they've looked solid this year. They look like a playoff team. And then, Gilgeous-Alexander. I really wanted this to happen. It doesn't look like it's going to happen this year, fantasy-wise. I get so excited about these like new blood that comes into the NBA. I'm rooting for them to kind of like make their mark. And it takes maybe a couple seasons. So I think this guy's going to be around the league for a while. Just right now, it's not panning out on a fantasy basis. And I'm sure he's struggling in reality, too, out there. So not much else to add. Yes.
I don't know if I'm looking at this right. Because this feels unbelievable. But what I'm looking at right now is 9 category player rater rankings for the season, so not per game. I'm seeing Danilo Gallinari as player 21 and Tobias Harris 1 spot behind him at 22. This sounds, I don't know, I may be looking at this incorrectly. I hope I'm not, but if that is true, that's outstanding. The Clippers, 2 guys putting up that value on the season. These guys got drafted nowhere near that. Tobias Harris, maybe he was drafted in like the 4th round, but Gallinari, he was drafted like 6th round or later than that even. So you got to be very happy if you own Danilo Gallinari or Tobias Harris this season. And for the rest of the season, man, you really don't see any changes to their outlook as far as, their role should be set for the rest of the season. So just enjoy the ride if you have these 2 guys. What do you think about it?
Yeah, they've been producing. They are the key to this team, the cornerstones of this offense. And the 2 sort of like stable points there. So they are going to continue to get the high usage, the high minutes. Everything is going to revolve through them or go through them. And they filled up the stat sheet. You're right. They're both in the 20s on the season, 9-cat. It's amazing. It's been a great coaching job by Doc to get these guys to play so well, along with the young guys and the role players. So just keep riding them. I don't know if you could sell on Gallinari if you probably couldn't get that 26th or 25th place in return, but if I could get 4th round value, I might sell because I'm worried about injury. But then again, so far he's proved me wrong, so maybe that's not a good barometer. All right,
Neil, check this out. I just looked up average draft position. You would not. This is way later than I even thought off the top of my head. In Yahoo, Gallinari was drafted as player 141. And in ESPN, he was drafted at 107 for an average draft position total of 118. I mean, he is just murdering his average draft position on what he's returning on the season so far. That's outstanding. These are the kind of moves when you draft someone like this, and when you draft someone at 141 and they're returning 2nd round value, those are league winning moves right there, man. It's outstanding.
Yeah, I wish I was that guy.
Me too. Me too, man. All right, I'm stalling. I'm trying to kill a little time, but I should probably get out of here, Neil. I'm sorry to leave you.
Hey, no. We haven't done Denver yet.
Is Denver done?
No.
I'm sorry. I just did the Clippers.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I am losing my mind. It is my turn, Neil. It's my turn to lose my mind. What happened on the Nuggets side?
Oh, man? Okay, here we go. A very important night for the Nuggets. They scored 121 points, led by Nikola Jokic with another triple-double. 18 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists on 8 of 19 shooting. 2 of 3 from the three-point free throw line. No three-pointers, no steals, 2 blocks, a turnover. Solid game from Jamal Murray, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists on 10 of 16 shooting. 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 2 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks. Torrey Craig still starting out there. Could have thrown him out there, 14 points, 4 rebounds on 6 of 8 shooting. 2 of 2 from three-point land, 3 steals and a block. Paul Millsap, 24 minutes, 8, 9, and 0. Coming back to where we kind of expected he might fall this year. 2 of 9 from the field, so struggled there. Did go 4-4 from the free throw line, a steal, no blocks. Malik Beasley starting at guard alongside Murray, 31 minutes, 15, 1, and 5 on 6 of 10 shooting, 3 3-pointers, 2 steals, and a block. Off the bench, so Gary Harris was out tonight. Monte Morris played 24 minutes, 14, 2, and 4, and 6 of 12 shooting. 2 3-pointers. Trey Lyles, 22 minutes, 7, 2, and 1 on 3 of 11 shooting, a 3-pointer and a block. The big news off the bench was Mason Plumlee, who continues to produce for this team. 20 minutes, 17, 12, and 5 on 7 of 8 shooting and a block. Great night for him in limited minutes. Hernan Gomez got 22 minutes but did not do much. 2, 3, and 1 and 2 blocks. Jokic just keeps trucking along. Millsap's fading a bit. Let's see what happens with Gary Harris. He was questionable, did not play. Hamstring. We'll see how long this lingers for. Every year it seems like he is starting to become someone who you can count on for missing games. It's unfortunate. Jamal Murray takes up the scoring there. And you talked about Torrey Craig last time. I'm still not going to stream him at all, or any of these other guys like Malik Beasley or Monte Morris. I think those are all coming to an end, and I don't want to be late on it, so I would go a little bit early. Any thoughts from you on the Nuggets?
Just they have been an outstanding team this season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players tonight in double-figure scoring. Their numbers are just like jumping off the page. And currently the number 1 team in the Western Conference, and they don't even have Will Barton yet in this lineup. Gary Harris has missed a lot of games. So this team's not even at 100%, and they look outstanding. And you know what, Neil? I heard a lot of chatter about Jokic being in that discussion for MVP, and he's had an amazing season, and he definitely deserves to be in that conversation for MVP. So fantasy-wise, we know who the main guys are. Jokic is your stud. Murray. Millsap's been playing well lately. And I can't wait for them to get to full strength and get Barton and Harris back in this lineup, man. It's just been an outstanding season for the Nuggets. I kind of pegged them in as like to make the playoffs, but as like the 8th or 7th seed. So this is just crazy that they're on top of the West right now. What do you think about it, man?
Yeah, I thought they'd have an improved year, get to somewhere around 50 wins, and be like 4th or 5th in the West. But yeah, this is great to see. Certainly exceeding my expectations, especially with all the injuries. The way they've been able to still win in a very tough Western Conference with missing key players all throughout the first half of the season is just remarkable. It goes to show how much great team basketball they play. They're less dependent on individual talent than they are on guys being able to step up and fill in roles.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? There was one point, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, when they had lost Millsap, Barton, Harris went down. They even had, I think, another guy got down. I can't even think of who it was. And I was thinking, oh, there goes the Nuggets season, And it was the opposite, man. They started playing well. They're a very deep team. And, they have a lot of guys who can step up when Craig and Lyles and Hernan Gomez. So this is a team that can definitely do some damage in the playoffs, man. I would not want to face this team. And home court advantage is huge from them as well. A lot of teams lose in their building. So what a great team. What a great season they're having. So fun, man. All right. Any closing thoughts?
Well, I still have 2 games to do, but any closing thoughts from you?
Man, no closing thoughts from me. I am going to try to recharge this weekend, Neil. This week really took it out of me, man. I'm kind of I'm looking forward to just relaxing over the weekend. What about you? Any big plans for the weekend? Where are you jet setting to?
I am staying in the cold here in Chicago, embracing it. Here in the Midwest in Chicago, we just endure the cold. So I will be here. Not much plans. I'll be re-energizing myself, watching some basketball.
Nice. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening, supporting the show. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. He's at Ball with Neil. It's been a great week. Neil will be back for 2 more games, and I'll see you guys Sunday night.
Okay, on to the last 2 games of the evening. On Thursday night, we had one really boring 1-1 thriller. Let's start with the one that completed first. Detroit 102, Sacramento 112. Sacramento in charge all the way here. Detroit on the road, missing Blake Griffin, and not really competitive tonight. Starting Luke Kennard at power forward. Plays 23 minutes, 5 points on 1 of 8 shooting. Hard to believe I thought this guy could be fantasy worthy at one point. 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 3-pointer, stealing the block and a rebound and 2 assists. Reggie Bullock, stronger night from him, 15 points, 6 assists, 1 rebound on 4 of 9 shooting, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. 3 3-pointers, a steal, no blocks. This is one reason why I'm still tracking him. He is such a good free throw shooter, 880 or 88% on the year. Very low volume, but that always helps. He is only shooting though 41% from the field, knocking down 2.5 threes. I would love to see if he could get up to 45%. That's a huge if. Probably not going to happen. I'd like him a lot more. Andre Drummond, 31 minutes, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, and a block. Bruce Brown Jr. on the wing, 21 minutes as well, or I should say just 21 minutes, 15 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists on 6 of 11 shooting, 2 of 2 from line, a 3-pointer, 3 steals, and a block. Reggie Jackson, very quiet in 24 minutes, just 6 points on 3 of 11 shooting, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, no 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks. This is what makes Reggie Jackson very low-end starter. At times he looks okay, but games like this bring him outside the top 100. But right on the cusp to be starting, or at least acceptable to start. Langston Galloway, 25 minutes, 8 3-1 on 2 of 7 shooting, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 3-pointers. Stanley Johnson, 16 2-1. Nice night off the bench, 5 of 10 shooting, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 3-pointers, 1 steal, no blocks. Calderon plays 20 minutes, not much. John Lohr, the one line off the bench that I want to talk about, 17 minutes, 9 points, 11 rebounds, 4 or 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line, 3 steals. We know besides Griffin and Drummond, really it's just Jackson, borderline starter. Bullock is the only one, I think. Might be worth an ad in 14-team leagues. Maybe already added there. Certainly worth watching in 12-team leagues in case he can improve. It's really his field goal percentage that bothers me. Yeah, he's obviously not going to get blocks or a lot of rebounds being a wing, but holds his own, can hold his own in points. If he can make a few more shots, can hold his own. And certainly in turnovers in 9-cat leagues and 3-pointers, he's very strong there. Free throw percentage as well. Moving on to Sacramento, a lot of bench time due to the one-sidedness of this game. Start with De'Aaron Fox, just played 24 minutes, 12, 5, and 6 on 5 of 8 shooting. 1 of 4, though, from the free throw line. Very unusual for him. He's a 71% shooter on the year. 1 3-pointer, steal, and a block. It seems like my app always blanks out whenever I'm alone. All right. And doing this podcast. Buddy Hield, 29 minutes, 18 2-0 on 8 of 13 shooting, 2 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover. Willie Cauley-Stein, nice double-double here, 14 of 14 with 5 assists, 5 of 10 shooting. This is ridiculous. I'm going to have to get a new app. 4 of 6 from the free throw line. No steals, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. Amon Shumpert, 13 2-2. 5 of 10 shooting, 3 3-pointers. He has worked his way into 116 on the per game basis in 9-cat. Not as good as 8 category leagues as his turnovers are pretty strong. But if you're in 9-cat leagues and you need a low end starter, I think he might be okay. Very low-end starter, I should say. But he is going to help in 3-pointers and steals and then turnovers. I won't do a lot else. But if you're desperate. Bielitsa falling off the wagon now with Bagley back in. 25 minutes. Went for 7, 5, and 5 on 2 of 5 shooting. And let's see what else he did. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 1 3-pointer, 2 blocks, no steals. Buddy Hield, 18 2-0. I think I might have already said his line. Sorry. Or if I didn't, 18 2-0. 8 of 13 shooting. 2 3-pointers, no defensive stats. Nice night from Harry Giles off the bench. This guy is starting to look like he deserved to be a first-round pick. And at one point, he was like the number 1 prospect coming out of college before he got hurt. Not sure he'll live up to that, but he is starting to look very good. 23 minutes tonight, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Did have 5 turnovers and 4 fouls in that time, but he's starting to show some flashes of perhaps he's going to be around this league for a while. Bogdanovich, very quiet game in 21 minutes, 6-3 and 4 on 3 of 9 shooting. No three-pointers, did have 2 steals. Justin Jackson, 20 minutes. Bagley just 20 minutes, 10-7 and 1. They really didn't need him that much. He shot very efficiently, 4 or 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, 2 steals. Nice night from the free throw line from him, 69% on the year, shooting from the charity stripe. I will say minutes very muted because of the one-sidedness, despite a 10-point win. It wasn't that close. Let's see. Bagley, I'm assuming he's already taken your leagues. If not, this would be a good time to get on him. If people are still watching, maybe even try to buy low on him. If someone isn't a believer, I think he'll end up around 100 on a per game basis in ACAT. Right now, 163, maybe 120. But I think the upside is better than someone like Shumpert. I think he might even surpass Cauley Stein, who's 124. And Bogdanovich, who left early with a toe injury, he has been disappointed as well, even when he's in there at 106. So, I mean, there's potential he could be the third best fantasy player on this team. I think he has a lot of talent. I think he's going to get high 20 minutes. Usually, when games are close, his field goal percentage is solid. Blocks are solid. Rebounds are good. Scoring solid. So he could creep up into starters range if you're a believer like me. On to the last game, 154 to 147. San Antonio hangs on at home against a very feisty OKC team. Start with Oklahoma City side, double overtime game, so lots of stats here. Russell Westbrook, 24, 14, and 24 assists. That's right, 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 24 assists. 11 to 22 shooting. Still struggling from the free throw line, 2 of 5. Missed all his three-pointers to get 2 steals. Heck of a night from him, especially in a points league. Paul George, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist on 11 to 25 shooting, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 3 three-pointers, 3 steals, no blocks, 2 turnovers. Jeremy Grant having a breakout night with a career 25 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist on 10 of 20 shooting. He looked really solid out there tonight. 4 or 6 on the free throw line, a three-pointer, and no defensive stats. Excuse me, 3 blocks, no steals. Oh, gosh. Steven Adams, 19, 7, and 1 on 8 of 13 shooting, 2 steals and 2 blocks. Terrence Ferguson played 41 minutes, 21, and he took 12 shots, made 7 three-pointers. Looks like a pretty good stroke out there. Let's see, on the season, he's averaging 0.8 a game. So don't expect him to start knocking down a couple a game anytime soon. Dennis Schroeder, 36 minutes, 14, 2, and 4. Very quiet night given the 36 minutes, 5-15 shooting, 2 three-pointers. Bench, other bench players did not play much. Nader, 12 minutes, Patterson, 11, Diallo, 11. This team, they're solid, but they don't really have much depth. I'm worried about that when they go into the playoffs. But they are a good basketball team. As well, the Spurs playing very well as of late, especially LaMarcus Aldridge, 49 minutes, 56 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists on 20 of 34 from the field, and 16 of 16 from the free throw line, 4 blocks. To lead all fantasy, I think, value tonight. DeMar DeRozan played 49 minutes as well, 16, 8, and 11 on 7 of 22 shooting, 2 of 5 from the free throw line, a steal and a block. Pau Gasol is back in the starting lineup at center, 16 minutes. Could not hold his own against Steven Adams. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, no points, did not take a shot. Did have 2 blocks and a steal. I think if he gets in the mid 20 minutes, he can get He can be a rebound and block guy, but he might. Not he will, because I'm not sure. Probably not going to bet on it, but I'm just saying someone to watch. Bryn Forbes, 42 minutes, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 6 shooting. 3 3-pointers, 1 steal, no blocks. Derek White looked really sensational out there tonight. I was not a believer, but after watching tonight's game, I have come around to him as not just a fantasy asset, but as someone who belongs out there in a starting role on a good team, or at least on a competent team. 48 minutes, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 10 of 17 shooting, a 3-pointer, 2 steals, and a block. Patty Mills off the bench played 29 minutes, 14, 3, and 6. He shot 5 of 7, 3 3-pointers, 2 steals, no blocks. David Bertrand's 26 minutes, 12, 4, and 2, 4 4 from the field, 4 3-pointers, and a steal. Bellinelli gets 23 minutes as well. Makes 6 shots on 10 attempts, including 5 of 5 from 3-point range, 19 points altogether, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. And Jakob Poeltl just gets 8 minutes. He is losing any sort of relevancy now that Gasol is back. This team's a little bit deeper. They're able to play a handful of guys in the 20 minutes off the bench. I like what they've been doing recently. Aldridge has been on fire. I think he's going to continue to play solidly along with DeRozan. Aldridge is 45th in a per game basis. I guess a little lower than I would expect based off what I've seen him play. He's really, it's really his steals and his 3-pointers. Doesn't take any 3-pointers. In a day and age where almost every 4 will take a 3-pointer. DeRozan 32nd overall on a per game basis in 8 category leagues. Again, he doesn't take 3-pointers, only making 0.2 a game. Other than that, pretty solid across the board. Rudy Gay was out tonight with a hand injury, I believe. Sprained left wrist, estimated to return 114, so a couple games away. Let's keep an eye on Bryn Forbes. I think he could be worth his. Certainly, if you need 3-pointers, he's averaging 2.2 a game on 46% shooting, so that's pretty solid. Won't do much else for you. Not much in turnovers for 9-cat leagues. Does shoot 86% from the free throw line, so will help you there on 1 attempt a game. And Derek White's priority taken. But on a per season basis, Forbes is a little bit higher. But White clearly over the last handful of games has been spectacular. So that is it. No other players to talk about here on the Spurs or OKC. Thanks for listening. We'll be off the next couple of days, but back on a Sunday night. Again, you can tweet at me. My Twitter handle is @ballwithneil, BALLWITHNEIL. Have a great weekend and talk to you Sunday.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.